So here at TAM, we believe in loving God and loving others. We decided to spread some love and some Christmas cheer to the patients and the nurses at Mount Hope General Hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this visit, as it was the last one for the year, it was a bit special. Under the leadership of Pastor Nicholas, we went and we took some gifts and we took some hampers to some of the patients and so on, and it was greatly appreciated by everyone who received one. But as I said, this visit in particular was a bit special. When we were finished what we were doing, on our way out of the hospital, we met a family. And it was about 8 or 9 of them lined off on the walkway while we were walking out of the hospital, and they were all in tears. So, of course, we were moved by what we were seeing, so we decided to go across and pray for the family.
Yes, and we prayed, and as we were praying, we got a little bit of a backstory where, as we were praying there and then, the man's wife, she was in a surgery, bleeding to death, basically. Yeah, she was basically bleeding to death. So as we were praying with the family, we were praying that, the bleeding would stop and for peace and restoration and all these different things. And as we were leaving them, we ourselves got a bit emotional and we were moved, and we continued praying and stuff. As we left, we got home, I decided to call just to make sure, everything was all right. And when I called, we were so overwhelmed with joy to hear that as we stopped praying, the bleeding stopped instantly.
Yeah, even the doctors were amazed of how fast it happened, because the woman was literally bleeding to death and there was nothing that they could do. They couldn't even continue with the surgery because she was bleeding so much. But as she said, we prayed and we got the news that she had stopped bleeding right after we left, right? And that was exciting news. But yeah, that was fun. That was really exciting. So yeah, and not only that, after Ancelia spoke with him, I called him after, and he made mention to me that he was a Hindu, and apart from what happened today with the bleeding stopping instantly and so on, he made mention to me, I didn't ask him anything about his background or so on, but he made mention to me that because of what he saw after we prayed and stuff and that the bleeding stopped, he is going to no longer worship any of his Hindu gods.
He's going to take them down.
And he's going to take down the pictures and so on in his house, and it was just so exciting to see all of what was happening at that very moment, that night, I don't know, we called almost everybody and we were really going crazy. We didn't know what to do with ourselves. Even after, so we went to their home.
When we went home by them, she was already home. She was discharged, and that was probably 2 or 3 days after. She spent 1 day in ICU, and as they were looking for a bed to move her, to ward her, they decided, okay, just time for you to go home.
She was recovering really fast, and again, the doctors were in awe of what was happening with her after a 10-hour surgery. She was recovering so quickly. The bleeding stopped instantly. She was up and about on her feet, spent 1 day in ICU. That is crazy. I just went home.
1 day.
Right? And when we were by the house there, we were able to pray with the entire family again. And we just had some fellowship with them, and it was just awesome. And they really appreciated it, and the family keep extending their thanks to us, keep extending thanks to the church and so on, and we're still up to date to keep in contact with the family to keep up on her progress. And she's doing fantastic. Her blood count went from, I think it was 3 to 11 in a few days' time, right? So that is definitely good. That is definitely